Hello everybody and welcome back to the Football Manager Streamer Showdown YouTube channel. I am of course MrDizTV and I will be your host for today. And today we've got something a little bit different for you. We have got an interview / mini documentary chronicling Hollyyplayys Streamer Showdown journey, where not only did she become the first female participant of the Streamer Showdown, but she then became the first female Streamer Showdown champion. So without delay, let's introduce the current reigning defending champion, the queen of Football Manager, the pride of Brum. It is, of course, Hollyyplayys. Holly, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I didn't think my introduction could get better since the last time we spoke for one of these videos, and yet you've exceeded expectations. So that's making me want to order my own crown now, but I feel like that would be too much like Kev, so I will not get myself a crown.
I was going to say, there's already rumours that you are the same person.
Yeah.
Dr. Benjy, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I remember saying to you last time, the introductions do get better, and you did the work. I'm just kind of relaying that information to the viewers.
I appreciate it nonetheless. It was a long weekend. I'm still feeling the effects of kind of the adrenaline and how tired I am, but it was worth every moment. So I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
So did I. So it was an amazing weekend and it was great to watch as well. And let's go back. I think one of the first things I want to ask you is about your draft. Now, I thought I was on the lowdown, so I was doing my research. My research involved watching you and Zealand. I was led to believe that that's what I'd be doing. And I messaged you, I DM'd you, and I asked you about your first pick. And you said your first pick was going to be Karim Benzema. You changed that pretty late on to Vlahovic. Can you tell me your thinking behind that, and ultimately what a masterstroke as well?
Yeah, so I think I was kind of getting in my own head a little bit. I was like, so many people are going to go for like one big pick and then kind of build a team around that, or two big picks, you know, like Ben going for Mbappe, for example, Jack going for Van Dijk. And I was just like, I need to get a big player too. So I was like, let's go for Benzema. Hopefully he'll still be around on the 7th pick, and I'll go big with him. His stats are really good. He kind of would fit the formation that I was looking to play in my mind. So I thought, why not? And then I kind of realised just before the draft that that's really not how I want to draft. I want to draft, you know, probably a couple of players that are over the kind of around the 22 million mark, which is kind of the average spend across 18 players for the 400 million. And so I was just like, maybe I'll just kind of see which player would be slightly over budget, but still help me have an average team, a balanced out team. And I saw Vlahovic and I saw his stats and I thought, yeah, he works. He plays that pressing forward or attacking forward role really well, and just was like, yeah, let's go with him. And I kind of felt certain that he wasn't gonna have been picked around the 7th pick, before the 7th pick, so was kind of banking on him being on other people's lists but slightly lower down, and wanted to be comfortable knowing that I got my first pick.
And it was a masterstroke because on Sunday he really turned up. I think I want to go into the people that we were with. So, you know, bear in mind there were 3 new people. That was yourself, RDF, me, surprisingly. How do you think you were looked after in relation to that?
Oh, I think like Ben was unbelievable. Obviously, quite a few people know. We knew I was going to be on this showdown for almost 2 months. It was something that Ben and I had spoken about. It was more like joked about 2 months ago, and saying, yeah, like let's try and get you on. And I was like, yeah, but I've barely been playing Football Manager, so I just don't think I'd be ready. Like, my knowledge isn't there. And I just kind of decided to really work hard on learning Football Manager over those kind of 6 weeks when Ben first mentioned it to me. And then we decided to keep it a secret so that Jack wouldn't know, and obviously other people wouldn't know, and that it was going to be a big surprise. And to get Jack's reaction, to get other people's reactions, to being the first female competing was so heartwarming, and just so, like, I just felt very lucky to have kind of been welcomed into the community. And I think RDF and you kind of experienced that same thing, which is just people are excited to see new people and excited to see what they can offer. And I don't think there was a single bad word said about any of us. I think your reaction to you ending up as the 9th manager was probably one of the best things I've seen out of all the 3 seasons so far. And I think just everyone just loves seeing new people and getting to see what they have to offer. And I think everyone within the Showdown team have been amazing with that.
And you were live on stream when the announcement was made, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I thought I'd stream maybe to potentially throw people off, because I never normally see other people streaming when the announcements are made. So I thought, oh, I'll just do that and then watch it with people and pretend that obviously like I have no idea. I mean, I also didn't genuinely know what the full lineup was. I only knew that RDF was going to be in it, Jack was going to be in it, and Ben was going to be in it. So I was genuinely reacting to some of those names, like because I didn't know. But yeah, to kind of stream and have people be so polite and nice and congratulate me was really nice, because it's just that I've never had that before. I've never kind of had that welcoming feeling. So that little stream on the Sunday was a real special treat for me. And
there's of course that clip of when it's announced, that actual moment. It's brilliant, to be fair. It really, really is.
What on earth is this? Ah! What is this? What is this?
So the announcements are made. Okay. There's going to be a mystery manager. We find out it's me. Okay. So when you then know the full lineup, who were you least looking forward to playing and why?
Probably RDF, and I think that's because I'd heard so many good things about how he is he's good at making changes when he needs to tactically, and that's something that I obviously hadn't come up against playing Football Manager. I had never played a draft before, so I just had no idea how I would counter someone else's tactical changes, because obviously when you just play regular Football Manager, it's just the AI making those changes. So I just was quite worried about doing that, and I think because I knew we both wanted to succeed, not necessarily 100%, have the confidence to go and win, but we both wanted to succeed. I knew we'd both have that very competitive edge about us, so he was definitely the one I was most nervous for, and clearly for good reason, because he beat me on the Saturday. So I think that showed why I was nervous.
And you ended up finishing second on the Saturday, but I think before that you had some absolute great personal moments. What were some of your highlights of that Streamer Showdown Saturday? Your first experience of it, but you had some great moments. Tell me about some of your favourites.
Well, I'd definitely say on Wednesday I had once the team was all picked, I felt so happy. I felt very relieved, and kind of all the stress kind of left. So that was a really good moment to kind of get that all done on the Wednesday. On the Saturday, to get the first win, I was like, okay, I could actually do something well here. I could actually win some games and find kind of really feel like I found my feet in Football Manager finally, and that was a real highlight. Obviously the confetti for every win was super fun. My housemate Dana, she is amazing. She was the best hype man a girl could ask for, and that was fun every time. And I think even just like the odd little games, so like getting to play Jack for the first time, getting to play Ben for the first time, both of those were really special to me because they're both really good close friends of mine, and I really value them as people. And to draw with Jack and beat Ben was definitely up there with the highlights. There's honestly so many that I could list off for you, but I don't think we'd have enough time. But those are definitely standout ones from kind of like the Wednesday and the Saturday.
So I'll list a couple for you because I feel they're quite pertinent. So obviously the cake.
Great balloon, isn't it? But what's better than a balloon when you're having a party?
It's a Benjy balloon.
What would you want though? Like, balloons are nice at a party. You've got your party
friend.
poppers.
Congratulations.
Oh, hang on. Wait, what is that?
I'm so upset.
It's a cake.
I'm so upset. It's a cake.
It says, unlucky on losing to me. Maybe Football Manager isn't for you.
Bit awkward because she didn't lose though, isn't it?
What was that about? And then you sent something back to him, didn't you?
Yeah, so the kind of story for it was after Jack found out that I was going to be on the show on the Sunday, he messaged my housemate Dana and was just like, can you help me do something for the showdown? And she said, yeah. So then I think it was on the Wednesday after the draft, or kind of like just before the draft, he messaged her saying what his idea was and what he'd done. And she didn't tell me. She told me that she thought it was fine. Like it wasn't going to be something massively extreme. So she said, should we do something back? And I said, yeah. Why not? Let's go all in. And I said, don't tell me what you want to do, just do it and I'll pay for it. So like, not as in like we've just spent extortionate amounts to get that t-shirt made, obviously, but I just said, let's do it. And I trusted Dana. She's so funny. I knew she would have just been able to tick the box of comedy and banter. So she smashed it. I think ours was better. I think having the halujo on the top, the up the brum.
I don't know if it will fit me.
Is that on the front? Up the
That's on
brum.
the
It
front.
says up the brum.
It does say up the brum. Do you want to open your thing now?
Oh, show the back again real quick. Just so everyone's got the full thing. That is Dana. Dana's outdone herself.
You've
She's
done well
outdone
there.
herself. Oh, it's brilliant. Dana,
Right.
you legend. Can we get
So
love
now
in
you've
chat? In both chats for
That
Dana,
is
please.
That is amazing, Dana. I think I hate
That
it.
is brilliant. That is brilliant.
I think I hate it.
On the back saying that all he got from playing me on Football Manager was the T-shirt. I think it was brilliant because I think that worked. Win, lose or draw, and so I think that was great. However, Jack kind of put himself into a bit of a corner because the cake was ultimately for only if he won. So don't ever be so confident that you're going to win because he didn't, and the cake said something about him winning and he didn't. So I'm gonna burst that balloon today though because I'm sick of seeing Jack's face in my living room. So I need to get that out of my house quickly.
So by the time this has been released, Jack, I'm sorry, your face has been bursted.
Yeah. 100%. It's gone. I need it gone.
And then the party atmosphere T-shirt. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so I really wasn't confident that I'd beat Ben. Obviously, on Saturday, I remember him just saying, I actually don't think I'm going to do well here. I think I'm going to be in the elimination game. I was just thinking, what is he on about? Like, his team is good. He knows his stuff. But obviously, ultimately, I played Ben in my penultimate game of the Saturday, and I did feel quite bad going into that game because he just hadn't won a single point. And it also made me more nervous because I just didn't want to be the person that gave him a point or 3 points. I feel like that would have been the most demoralising thing of the day. No offence, Ben. I just ordered his It's a Party Atmosphere t-shirt, knowing that if I beat him, I'd have that on and have the confetti. And it really would be quite the party atmosphere. Because what is it, lads? He's going to hate me forever. It's a party atmosphere. It's a party atmosphere. Oh.
You bought my t-shirt.
Oh. It's an absolute party atmosphere. So, I think you could see if you watch back the VOD, I was quite apologetic while putting that top on, but then ultimately just bathed in the confetti and accepted it for a few minutes. Hence the really cool gif of me just body rolling, I guess you'd call it, while having confetti sprinkled all over me in the It's Party Atmosphere t-shirt. So I think I wore that for the rest of the stream as well. So sorry, Ben, but great content, right? So and he got a little bit of money out of it. I paid for that t-shirt. He didn't even send it me for free because I wanted it to be a secret. So
Well, it was making memories, and you made that. You finished second, so a heck of a party atmosphere. Going into Sunday, you end up knowing that you're going to end up playing me. I know how I felt. How did you feel going into that game?
I was just trying to keep a positive mindset. So in the nicest possible way to you, Diz, I knew that because I had beat you on the Saturday, I was going into that game confident. I didn't think it would be like a smooth sailing win, no chance. But I felt confident that I would be able to win, and to kind of, it was close. It was very close, and I was definitely stressed. But once kind of the home leg came in, and I started to kind of have better possession and better chances, it was kind of, I felt comfortable and I could see the win coming. I knew it would happen. So I'm really sorry, Des, that I won. I won the El Brumico, as we called it. I won El Brumico, and I was very happy about it.
It's why you're the pride of Brum and I'm the disgrace of Brum.
Oh, disgrace is a harsh word.
But no, coming into the game, I knew. Basically, I expected to only be streaming for an hour. I felt like so I've had some simulations before that when we were given the database to test out, and I ran some simulations, and every time your team did really well. It was up there or thereabouts, and I felt like after the Saturday that you had, I didn't expect to beat you. If I did, it was a bonus. But then you had the game against Stinger. Now, Stinger was a different kettle of fish, and it ended up in a certain goalkeeper getting knighted. Tell me about that semi-final with Stinger.
Yeah, so first of all, Stinger is an amazing Football Manager player. He really had me stressed. I was sweating profusely. He just kind of, I felt like he came into both games off the bat knowing or applying a lot more pressure to my 4-3-3 formation. I just felt like we were struggling to get chances and capitalise on counter-attacks, and Stinger's team looked great, and honestly, he did get FM'd. Like, I won't even deny that. And unfortunately, that's just the way the game goes. Like, Tammy Abraham didn't know where the back of the net was. He had so many missed chances, and ultimately, we were just lucky enough that when we had ours, we scored. Also, as you mentioned, David De Gea, what a man. He just stopped everything. So in my mind, he deserved the knighthood because he definitely won us that semi-final, both semi-final games. I mean, also like down to 10 men. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we did it because I only made kind of positional changes, and I had no idea if moving kind of Rashford in more into the middle and then Sancho more into the middle when he came on as a sub would even work. But for some reason, it did. So, I mean, Stinger was a great sport because I know I would have been livid if I'd have lost to 10 men. So, yeah, it was definitely one of my favourite games across the whole weekend. So thank you very much, Stinger, for making it so enjoyable.
And then you're in a final, which I imagine would have exceeded anyone's expectations, because I always see it as if you get to a final in your first one, it's an amazing achievement. You're over the moon, but you're playing the defending champion, Zed Lasso himself, Zealand, the #1 content creator in the world. And also, there was a bit of a delay getting into that game, bearing in mind Matt's got to do everything on the lowdown, they've got to interview everyone. How did it feel being in that final with Zealand?
I felt so sick. So sick. Oh my God. I feel sick. I feel unbelievably sick. I don't know what to say. When we were waiting for Matt to do the semi-final exit interviews, sorting out formations, players, I kind of had a couple of people coming back from injuries and suspensions, so I was having to tinker things around and make sure I had the right starting 11 that I wanted. And also, like, I know I said the person I was least looking forward to playing was RDF, but Z was a very close second. I think the only thing that eased my mind slightly was beating him on the Saturday. But again, I think that was only because of the fact that he went down to 10 men. Like, that helped us so much, and that was the only thing that eased my mind ahead of Sunday. And I kind of had a feeling it was going to be Z in the final. I knew he was going to be out for blood trying to beat RDF in the semis. So I kind of just had that little bit in my head saying, you know it's going to be Z. So if you make it, just be prepared for that. And like you said, he's one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to Football Manager content. And to go up against him in my first showdown in the final, I was terrified. But I knew that I just didn't want to let that get into my head too much, so I didn't change too much tactically. In fact, I barely changed anything tactically before kick-off. I made a couple of changes mid-game, I believe, like I took off passing into space, obviously up the time wasting when possible, but ultimately I just wanted to stick to the game plan that had worked so well for me over the course of the weekend, and it worked. I guess for me, I don't know if it's for other people or whatever, you know, I know that people will be saying I got lucky, whatever. It's Football Manager, it's the way it works. But for me, less was more on the weekend. The only time I really made changes was to make substitutions. Tactically, barely anything. And I think for some reason that worked great.
And I'm just writing this down because tactically I've made about 86,000 changes.
So many people tinkered so much. Yeah, Z tinkered constantly, RDF. You know, I think Ben tried every formation in the book. So I think, you know, when you do that and you're panicking, I think you can sometimes make the wrong decisions. Whereas obviously on the outside, I was absolutely bricking it. Like, no word of a lie. I genuinely felt sick. I had dinner made for me and I ate about half of it and I knew I couldn't finish it because I would probably throw it up. But I just kind of, when it came to making my decisions, I was just so clear-minded and wanted to make sure that I didn't rush anything. I didn't do anything I didn't want to do. Obviously, there was an insane number of people watching the final. I had a lot of assistant managers in chat saying, do this, do that. And while that is appreciated, it can become overwhelming and it can come a lot very quickly. So it was just about making sure I did what I wanted to do. And ultimately, it worked for some reason. So I'm not going to complain.
And we talk about the perfect way to win a final. Beating the defending champion, and you did that. You grasped the crown from Zealand. That winning moment. Describe the emotions.
Relief that the weekend was over, to be honest, because it was the whole thing was genuinely so stressful. I guess I got in my head a lot and was like, well, you're the first female, you have to do well, you have to show people why you're here. I've been streaming Football Manager for 4 to 5 months, so why be picked? Why be relevant? And to just make second in the league, I was more than happy with that, ecstatic with that, in fact. And I would have been happy losing to you in the quarters, I'd have been happy losing to Stinger in the semis. At the final, honestly, in a weird way, I didn't care what happened, because I know that Z is a great competitor, and I just wanted to make sure it was fun for people to watch. Like, I was so worried that the final was going to be two boring 0-0s, we go to penalties and that's it. but it was more than that. It exceeded expectations, and I think when the second goal went in the second leg, on the home leg for me, I kind of knew that was it. I'd won it. And I think I was just kneeling on the floor constantly, because I think if I stood up I'd have blacked out, like blood would have left my head. But it's mad how invested you get into video games, and Football Manager, it's been such a release for me, and I know it's been a release for so many other people. So to have hard work of getting involved and streaming it and learning it and playing it constantly to pay off, it was a really heartwarming feeling. So again, I said it so much at the end of my stream on the night, but I just felt very, very lucky to have so many amazing people in the community just be so lovely and so welcoming. So thank you to everyone who watched and said that well done and everything, because I've had a heart full of love for the last 24 hours.
And we've talked about the first female part beforehand. We talked about it in the last interview. So you were the first. Obviously, I really like that saying, so I'll carry on using it. I'm really sorry.
No,
but now
nice.
You are the first champion as well, the first female champion. That will never be taken away from you. How important has it been for you representing the females, representing minority content creators? How important has that been for you?
Massively important. For those who don't know, I am, my main job is in the journalism industry, and that still has a big minority issue as well, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not saying that is company specific, I'm saying that's industry specific. So to be part of a kind of a new section of like the online world to me, and a new community, and to kind of help put the minority in the spotlight more, I feel very fortunate and very lucky. I question that it probably shouldn't be me, because I'm a bit of an idiot, but I feel very lucky and very privileged, and I hope that it brings more people out. I know that, again, I mentioned this the last time you and I spoke, there are more female streaming. FM Girl, Wickdiv, they were both amazing in helping me on the night for the showdown, and they are both amazing streamers. There are so many amazing minority streamers. RDF represented his community so well, like in the highest of regards to him and his community, because he smashed the weekend, and I think it's just great to see. And there was just I've never felt more welcomed and more minorities welcomed than ever before, which is just it's great to see.
And then right at the end, obviously you've got this £500 prize money, but you did something that was so heartwarming, so special to you. You donate all that money to Calm, a mental health charity.
Yes, thank you. And also I'd just like to say the prize money, I am going to donate it to Calm charity. It's a charity that has a very special place in my heart, so I'm going to donate the money tonight on behalf of my dad. So if people are struggling, reach out. This FM community is amazing.
Tell us why you chose that charity. Tell us your decision behind that.
Yeah, so it's something that I've become a lot more open and honest about in recent years. I lost my dad to mental health, I guess is the polite way of saying it without saying it in a potentially triggering way for some people. I lost my dad, and that has been, a difficult thing over the last 3 years, but I know that video games and the Football Manager community and other gaming communities have been a release for people, a safe space for people, and Football Manager has definitely become that for me as well. I don't know where I'd be mentally, what I would be doing if I didn't start streaming as a hobby and I didn't start playing Football Manager and meet so many amazing people. So when I made the final, I was like, I know I'll have won some prize money at the very least, and obviously not know how much, but I knew straight away that I wanted to donate that to give back to charities and people who are helping people that need that extra support mentally, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, I have those days, everyone has those days where you need that extra support. So to give back to a charity that has a really close place in my heart for obvious reasons was the icing on the cake for me. It really topped the whole weekend off, and I can't say how grateful enough I am, because for me it was never about going to try and win the prize money. It was about having the best weekend I've ever had in years, and getting to chat with so many amazing people. And again, I've said it so much, I just feel fortunate, and I'm glad that I could give back at the end of it as well to top it all off. So a huge thank you to everyone who's run the showdown, Ben for asking me to be on it. That it's such a well-run tournament. It is unbelievable, the behind the scenes stuff that I've got to kind of see and experience over the last week. It blows me away. So yeah, very, very fortunate, very, very lucky to have been a part in that and give back at the end.
Thank you for being so open and sharing in relation to that. It was an incredibly special moment. You've had a couple of days now. Has it sunk in yet? You're the Streamer Showdown champion.
I think it's starting to. Yesterday I went into the office for work and I had quite a few people coming over and being like, so what is all this nonsense on your Twitter feed right now? Obviously there was a lot of love and support on social media, so thank you for all that. And we're asking like, so how does it work? Like, explain it in basic terms. Like, and then they were like, oh, so it's like quite a big thing. And I was like, yeah, I kind of guess it is. Like you mentioned, the first female to do it, so it's kind of really started to finally sink in. What's really starting to sink in was the fact that I only got 3 hours of sleep on the Sunday night and then worked yesterday and working today. So the sleep is catching up with me. So, or the lack of sleep, sorry, is catching up with me. So hopefully that kind of resets later this week. Otherwise, I might not have to come back if I'm gonna be so tired after this, because I was absolutely knackered, and I'm still cleaning up the confetti, still in the process of cleaning it up. So yeah, I don't think I can do confetti next time. I'll have to think of something different, so to keep you all on your toes and see what I can do.
No, well, that's excellent. And obviously at some point, like I know you're going to speak about your work schedule, etc., but at some point you'll be coming back and defending that crown. Who are you looking forward to facing? I think we know.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, work. If anyone at work is watching this, please let me sort my schedule out, because I really, really want to defend this title. And the only person I care about playing now is Kev Lelujo. I'm a competitive person, but I feel like I am quite a bubbly, competitive person, if that makes sense. Whereas this is cutthroat. I have had Kev try and claim his hand in my showdown win. So I have to win this. I have to win it. I love Kev. He's great, but I have to beat him. And even if that means losing to him in the league to beat me in the final on the Sunday, that's fine by me. But I will beat Kev.
It's a Sunday game.
It's a Sunday game.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for making the time to do this. A deserving, a warranted champion. Somebody who I think a lot of people can look up to. Someone who's been so open. And you know what? What a great time it was watching that. Congratulations and thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much, Diz. It was a pleasure to play you. It was a pleasure to be part of the whole thing. So again, thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to everyone who watched, and hopefully catch you next month when I get to retain my crown.
I'm coming for you. Oh no, I'm not. All right, let's be honest.
See you on the logo.
yeah. But yeah, there you have, viewers. I hope you enjoyed this. Please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.